It is a good morning for me, and I wish you have a good morning. Today I want to talk about the firmware of the universe and the firmware written for our reality. And I can tell you something. I do record these thoughts into a very noisy environment. Usually when I'm driving, my truck is making noise, or today the wipers, which I'm supposed to replace on the other truck, are making lots of noise. And that's on purpose, because I could take my camera somewhere, like I do many times. I go in the mountains somewhere and I do record in a nice environment, quiet space. But I want these noises to distract those who are not really interested, who stop by to see this video by accident, or because maybe they thought it's something interesting or entertaining. But when they hear the noises and there is no music, no entertaining feature, no acting, no accident, nothing, they will move on. So this video is not for those. This is for those who feel that, oh, this is an interesting topic, or it resonates with my thinking, and let me pay attention. Maybe this guy has a point, or something like that. So those will try to focus, and their brain will ignore the noise. The brain will ignore the noise by getting used to the background noise, and they will have their mind focus on what I'm trying to say. So that's a way I filter those who are not meant to listen this type of topic, because I don't really want to promote these ideas. They could be stupid ideas generated by my brain. They could be not relevant to your life path. They might come from a different realm, and it might not make sense to many people at this social and human development. So the people understanding it's only at the surface level. And what I'm trying to say, the field we are all made of, even the planets, everything in our universe we know is made out of a field, and field of energy, and depends how you want to see it. If you want to see the surface only, then you will think the way the science explains, because the science cannot go into depth at this time in their knowledge. They know a lot about atoms and how the atoms might work, and they have lots of theory that makes sense, because that's the way it's designed. The universe is so complex. It's made in a way that it takes forever for the actors of the universe to understand what's going on. Who's the creator? What the creator is doing? How the design was done. So you're not supposed to know everything about what's going on with you and who you are, what happens with you, why you're here, and the scope of this project. Because there is a kind of a idea that comes from the Bible. If you give the monkey fire, the monkey will start destroying the forest. And I'm talking about humans. So when humans who evolved from the monkey, if you want to think this way, when they discovered dangerous tools of the universe, they used it for destruction. because a human curious mind um, does not want to stop from learning. Human greed makes people be greedy even when it's about knowledge. So if you don't know how to control your emotions in your greed, you will focus that mind energy, because like I mentioned in other videos, your body is being powered by a special energy. I'm not talking about the energy all the systems and universe and everything around you is made of. It's an energy that has a different type of intelligence, and that gives your body the life you have. And using your brain, your computer, your powerful brain, you can decide how to manage this energy. And you can take this energy and use it, let's say, for moving objects. You want to move your body, or you want to take a knife and cut some bread, or you can use this energy to learn, use the brain, material form, and gain knowledge, or use the computer, or eat something. So you can be greedy for knowledge, greedy for food, and when you're greedy for knowledge, which is a good thing because that's part of the plan, those people who want to know more, at some point they will help the human race to move forward. Maybe they will discover something, or maybe they will pass the information to other people. They will teach other people from what they learn. And but there are people who are greedy for knowledge when they get a good feeling about destroying when having the knowledge. So they have the knowledge and they use it against other people. Let's say the simple fact of knowing stuff about someone. So you want to know something about someone, like you spy on your neighbor or spy on your worker or something, and the more you know, the more powerful or in control you feel. And depends of the level in the society you are at. You may use other people greed for knowledge to do stuff for you, to destroy other stuff, to destroy other people, like people in the secret services do, in the military do. They use those young dudes or young people who really love knowledge because they get a good feeling, emotion, and that knowledge is being used for distraction. So you are limited to the levels of knowledge you can reach. It's done on purpose, because God or Creator or the field or the United States President, whatever, whoever you want to name, wants you to have a limit of knowledge. Even in smaller companies, some companies want to limit your knowledge, because the more you know, the more powerful you are. And the more power you have, but not power in some people's sense. So power is knowledge. Knowledge is power in the other way. So the more knowledge you have, it increases your value. So then you can ask for more money. So that's a reason you have some limitations. Or the other people impose limitations. But God or the Creator wants you to have some limitations. Even you think your knowledge level or the learning level of it's infinite. So you will have a cap at some point. The more stuff you discover, the more complex the world it becomes. So you start discovering stuff and new theories, new ideas, and things that make sense. And the more stuff you discover, the deeper you get into a pool of knowledge, and now you're swimming into something that you don't realize what's going on. You have too much noisy information, and at some point it's too much for you. You don't understand what reality you live in because it's so much knowledge. And if you look at those people who have almost no knowledge, so they are just simple humans acting like robots for other people, or just floating to stay alive, those people can live a blissful life. They can live a quiet and better life if they have a basic skill to manage their money, their finances and their family relationship, and have some food and a roof under on top of their head. That's bliss. That's, they can find happiness much easier than those who have a very deeper understanding of the universe. Because, like I said, you have a finite amount of energy your brain can direct to different systems. Now, if you take that energy, that part of that ball of energy, and you manage your body to walk around, drive around, or read stuff, study stuff, then you need some of that energy to fuel your body. You need some of that energy to deal with a relationship in your life, with your kids, with your spouse, then to do work for 8 hours a day, do work at the workplace. You don't have much left. You may have, but you are not aware. And now, if you put your mind into these complicated theories about the world, then you are overwhelmed, like those people who listen to the news all day long, or listen to the gossip all day long, and they get tired. They get brain tired, and they don't have much energy to find time and find quality time, or make a good relationship with their spouses, because their brain allocates energy from the same pool of energy to dealing with something that's not significant. The same with these scientists. You see lots of scientists, they are kind of alone, divorced. Even people who are really deep into their talent, let's say musician or something, they are playing their music and they're creative and stuff, but they don't have time for their partners. They don't have time to live a social life. Why? Because they forward too much of that energy into their talent. Same with scientists or those who are greedy for knowledge, and they keep learning, reading and designing stuff, they might end up being alone. And I know when I was so much into electronic reading and circuits and design and theories in electronics and stuff, I was so passionate about that, but I ignored other aspects of my personal life, my social life, about my health, because the brain was not powerful enough to manage properly and wisely these type of energies, to myself the ideas that I need time for leisure, I need time for this and that, because I was getting the emotions I was looking for in my talent. So that was going around. This is a intersection that people get dinged all the times, because there is no four-way stop sign, anything like that. And people coming from the lane, they think they are driving on a regular lane, but this is a back lane, and they drive 50-60 kilometers an hour and ding other people who are coming on the main road. So again, knowledge is limited for your own good. I mean, not limited in a way. So the world, the universe is so complex, and your brain is designed based on a firmware, but is designed in a way that has limitations. Because if God wanted you to know what's going on with you in your world, God would not have a problem to design a more complicated brain. So if you're a religious person, you might believe in the idea that God is a very powerful entity. So since the human body is so complicated, doctors would need, or science would need probably another couple of hundreds of years to fully understand how the body works. I mean, they know about the body mechanics and stuff, but lots of other things, especially when it's about body energy management and other type of energies that spiritual people are talking about, and the DNA that's not fully known, and the genes that you can unlock on the go. And so the body is so complicated. So since God or the creators made these complex bodies, regardless what other people are saying about evolution theory and Darwin or whatever, that's the surface way of thinking, because I used to think at that level. And I'm not smart. I'm not smart at all. I just think a little bit deeper, because I allow myself to think deeper. And so if you think of that evolution theory, yeah, probably then according to that, humans might have to wait another couple of thousands of years to evolve to thousands, or maybe tens of thousands of years to evolve to a more advanced species, and the brain would be able to decode deeper meanings of life and understanding of the body and the universe. So but the way I see it, the creator created the human DNA, the code, which is a surface structure. It's part of sort of a firmware, but at the surface level, deeper down, the atoms the DNA is made of, it's another level of firmware of the universe, or probably the universe we know only. Probably in different universes, the atoms are organized in different way, which I discussed in a other video about the structure of the atom, which is made of clusters of energy arranged and encoded in a way that energy fields made like to appear to us some material objects, like little balls floating into a vacuum space that have their own forces that keeps them together, flying around the nuclei or whatever. So it is designed in a way, and we are made out of the same materials like everything else. So we see those materials and we look at our bodies and we think, That's matter, the way because we can touch, we can feel. If we were made out of just pure energy, like the soul or something like that, we would understand the matter differently. But we are made out of the same type of firmware structure, let's say firmware, to make it easy to understand for people who understand computers. We are made out of the same type of firmware, like the machine code, deeper down at the energy level. So when we as the humans grow up and start understanding the world, we start to think at the surface level only, at the, let's say, software level we are at, and we would see only the surface. We would see only what's stuff that we are made of, but we don't go deeper into the machine code because we don't have that knowledge. We don't have that knowledge and the tools yet to be that artificial intelligence, let's say, who can get into the firmware or its own firmware, to decode its own firmware and then go deep down and figure out the machine code language everything is made of. And we as the humans, we deal with just the software surface. We can actually modify, we can make bricks, we can cut trees, we can destroy stuff, and we can even alter a bit the firmware. So we can, let's say, change DNA, which is part of the firmware, the way humans were designed. So if we start altering the firmware, I don't know. It's worrisome because altering the firmware will lead with a different hardware, the whole world configuration, the world we see. So once you touch the firmware into a computer, you may make that computer run faster, run slower, or crash all the times. And if humans never learn from their experience with computers, then let them play with the firmware, see what happens. And of course, they are not allowed to play with the machine code. When they try to play with the machine code deeper than the firmware, deeper than the atomic level, so let's say if people try to do nuclear explosions to change the machine code of the matter, look what happens. Because they don't have the power, let's say the program and the knowledge, the tools, the actual tools to allow them to modify the machine code. So humans are not at that level. They don't have the tools to alter the machine code, the way the atoms are structured. Because if they try to do stuff like that, they just try like I used to do, play with the software. I kind of knew what happens, but I did not know deep inside how that machine code is interacting with the CPU. I knew about old CPUs, some information go into memory, registry and stuff like that, but I had to do trial and error, see what happens, modify here, modify there, okay, and run the program and see what happens. So I would not let humans to do such a thing. Probably they are very tempted, the curious minds I was talking about earlier are very tempted to do that, to modify and go deeper into the machine code of the universe, of the structure of the stuff we understand in our universe, and create new structures because they would feel good. They would get that emotions of feeling powerful, feeling powerful, being a god. But the humans don't have the tools to foresee the future. What happens if I do this? They might try this and that. Let's take some energy, infinite energy. We do some fusion. We do this. We modify the atoms for our own pleasure and benefit. But what's the outcome? So look what happens if you do genetic modifications with GMO plants, modified plants and stuff like that. They say, oh yeah, that's cool effect, cool result. We get bigger numbers, bigger productivity, and we get more money. We get to buy bigger cars, bigger mansion, and we get rich. Whatever happens, I don't know. I did my job, and I'm a cool scientist. I played God, and we'll see. And people are going through health problems because of this altered structure. So in any case, that's the way of thinking in my case, because it's rainy, so rain it's affecting the brain, you know that. So machine code is the deep structure of the energies, how the atoms are structured. Then it's a firmware at the higher level. Then it's a software, the stuff that we can even alter ourselves, like how we build our bread, cake, how we do stuff that is user friendly, let's say, for our regular people level, right? So firmware people can modify a bit, like people do play with the DNA, people repair tissues, repair bodies, attach a limb, but stuff like that. So that's part of the firmware, the way we are supposed to see the world. So if we don't touch that firmware, is like we live in a jungle, and the way God designed the software, this part of the software, which is that firmware, that everything function, how things work, and how things are connected. And then it's a level of which is user accessible, user friendly, the way we modify our reality. We make nests, we build houses, we I don't know, you get the point. So I have to go, I'm late. See you later, bye bye.